Let me go find somebody that can do it, faster than me, better than me, and done at a price that is reasonable. And so it really helps business better when you understand the different parts of it. Now, do I want to do my accounting books? No, absolutely not. I'll hand that over. I'll look at them at the end of the year. There's certain things I just don't want to do. But as a business owner, we still need to know the whole process.
Oh, yeah. You definitely have to know the whole process to not be taken advantage of. And in speaking of not being taken advantage of, there are a lot of hidden lawsuits when it comes to safeguarding somebody's wealth. How do you help your clients safeguard their wealth for the future?
So the U.S. in particular is a very litigious nation. That's what I've come to call it. I've lived months at a time. My wife is from Mexico, so I've spent a lot of time in Mexico. It's a different atmosphere. There's not all these litigious suits happening left and right. People will get up, brush each other off, and move along their way. U.S. is a different place. It's business. And if you can make money from misfortune, fantastic. And so for a lot of us, we build things. We put all of our effort, our sweat and blood, tears into something, and then we just leave it over there for somebody to grab. And it's not when we talk about hidden, it's not the lawsuits you would think of. For example, if I mess up doing something in law, there's a chance it could happen. That's what malpractice is insurance is for. We understand that, hey, these type of things happen. It's the little things that we never anticipate. Driving home one day and getting a wreck, somebody dying from it, or several people being really hurt, and suddenly your insurance won't cover it all. And so then they're coming after you personally. Or other relations. I always talk about people who are at the bar and they get in a fight, and the next thing you know, they're being sued, and maybe insurance isn't even going to cover that for them. And so now their personal assets are attacked. Or things where you're doing everything right in your business, but you're commingling your funds, not realizing that, hey, personal assets have to be separated from business assets. So now all of a sudden you don't have that protection. Here's one I see all the time. The guy who opens up his LLC and forgets to file his franchise taxes in Texas and gets a letter stating, hey, your business is defunct. And so now if you're doing something, somebody gets hurt, an employee gets hurt, well, there's no protection. It's these little things that are hidden that we don't think about. And so the way asset protection works, it's not complex. It's very simple. Get it out of your name. That's the beauty of a lot of this stuff. Just like an LLC for your business is a separate entity, you can have an LLC or other types of structures that are separate. And they can operate or even hold assets for you so that if you do something and it leaks over into your personal life, these are all separated out and protected from your mistakes or these hidden lawsuits.
Oh, yeah. That commingling of funds allow the courts or someone who wants to sue you to do what they call pierce the corporate veil, right? And
my favorite word.
It sounds beautiful, right? It sounds almost like something from Harry Potter or Game of Thrones. He just pierced the corporate veil. But no, 2025, you don't want to hear that language.
No, right? You don't. I had a client and they were told this and they're like, oh, that's a really cool saying. And I looked at the client and said, no, we don't want to ever hear that again. So.
No matter how eloquently it rolls off your tongue, you don't want to hear that. And also I heard you mention even if a person has all of their entities set up correctly to where they are protected, that their liability is limited if something were to happen while they're performing their business. But just like you mentioned, people typically don't tie in that, all right, yeah, your business, if you were to do something that you're liable for while performing business, you're taken care of. But if you, the person, does something, now that just put everything in your business in jeopardy, all of your businesses, all of your assets.
100%. I hear from a lot of doctors, neurosurgeons who are, look, you've got to get everything out of my name because if there's something that goes wrong, this is high risk surgeries we're doing. I don't want anybody coming after everything I've worked for. And so professionals in particular, everyone sits and thinks that, oh, it's the ultra wealthy. It's not the ultra wealthy. Being my background, financial advising, wealth management, I've seen where something small has happened. A lawsuit comes and then a judgment is thrown on a brokerage account, and the advisor has, several $1 million in the person's personal name, and that's now up for grabs in a creditor judgment. And so it's little things like that. Protect your assets. You don't have to have billions. You don't even have to have millions. It's at what point is what you've built and what you work for worth protecting? That's pretty much the line for me. And to be honest, I've worked very hard. That number is very low for me starting out. And then everything that grows is already protected because it's in the right box.
Oh, yeah. People really have to change the way that they look at these things. Just like you said, a lot of people think to themselves, oh, I'm not that wealthy, so I don't have to speak to someone like Matt. Right. But not realizing, you and I, of course, you at another level as an attorney, and I work with a lot of attorneys, and I pay your fees to just write one letter. I pay y'all hundreds of dollars just to write one letter, right? It's worth all that school, right? But what a lot of people don't realize is the wealthier you are, the less money means to you. So as people, like, for example, when I'm helping people plan for retirement, I have to replace less of a percentage of that wealthiest person at the income than I have to do for a not so wealthy. I have to replace more of a percentage for that not so wealthy person's income in retirement, which means your $100 is your $1 million. Your $10,000 is your $1 million. And it's actually worth a lot more.